In this review, we're going to be taking a look at the Studio Series 86 Autobot Grimlock and Wheelie, two beautiful figures that work really well together. This is practically a mini masterpiece, and I'm extremely impressed by what they've done. By all means, let's go ahead and have a look. What's up, Alfonso Nation? Alfonso Peterman here. Welcome back, one and all, to another episode of Teletraan Reviews. I'm really excited for this one. This is gonna be awesome. Before we begin, I would like to give a shout out and a major thank you to the Toy Room for sponsoring this video and providing the figure for review. If you guys don't know what the Toy Room is, I have basically been featuring them on my channel during the toy hunts. It's an amazing store. You can get a lot of different vintage toys and a lot of OG stuff for Transformers. They have Marvel Legends as well, DC as well. They've got Star Wars. They got a whole bunch of great things at the Toy Room. At the moment, they do not have a website, but they do have a phone number and an address if you'd like to stop by. So go ahead and take a look at the description details below. Guys, this is amazing. I am just blown and how great Studio Series Grimlock came out. It's just a different experience when you get the photos versus the actual figure, and we finally have the actual figure. Taking a look at the packaging, of course, it's the same as other Studio Series. You got Grimlock and Autobot Wheelie, you got a nice shot of them there, and then you got them featured in the window box there. It is from Transformers the 86 film. You turn it to the side, you got the vertical profile of Wheelie riding Grimlock. I love it. It's pretty cool. You got the same shot over here. On the back, let's go. You got the Dino mode, and you have the robot mode, and you got Autobot Wheelie there, and you got him with his weapon storage there. It's pretty cool. The description says Grimlock and the Dinobots storm the Quintesson courtroom. So it is reflective of that scene in the 1986 film, and it is a pretty nice. I just love how he looks. That Dino mode is so awesome. It's so cool. One thing I did notice though off the bat, that it has like a golden translucent plastic over the chest and even on the neck, and that's not how it ended up. Of course, it is a darker one. I would kind of rather something where you would see the Autobot logo a little bit better, but we'll talk about that. I love the packaging. I love the presentation. Studio Series packaging, for me, is just one of my favorites, so it's really, really awesome. So without further ado, that's pretty much all for the packaging, so let's take them out, and let's get a bite of the king. And here he is, the Autobot Dino King. Me, Grimlock, look amazing! I am just like at a loss for words at how accurate this thing is compared to the G1 representation. We've gotten a lot of different Grimlock figures in the past, but they have not really been done as well as this. Even the Masterpiece Grimlock was a really, really good figure. Really nice release. It is beautiful in its own way, but this is like a mini version, a more affordable version of that particular Grimlock figure, and I am just stunned. Giving you guys a nice close-up. Here we go. We got Grimlock. Beautiful detailings and etchings all in the plastic. Even the unpainted sections have details in the plastic, and it's very noticeable when you glance at the figure. You got nice detailings here. You got nice detailings all on the arms and all of that. Just really nice gold signature chest, breastplate, the torso area. You got that nice red paint with etchings in there. Very cool stuff. And then you got like the black right here, and it comes down to the signature legs. Very boxy legs, but they kind of have an arch, so it looks more like a calf instead of like just a giant box, which kind of does help it a lot. And then you come down to the feet, and everything just really flows so incredibly well. He does have these little wing pieces here. That kind of, I would say it's more kibble, but it does still look well. You can still articulate them and kind of get them wherever you want to get them. And just compared to the other figures in the past, it really does not look too bad at all. This is beautiful. I mean, this is just excellent right here. Taking a glance at that head sculpt, that is really, really nice. All black, but you got the blue visor, and he does have great articulation on the head. You can still see the Autobot logo in there, and I do like that touch. They could have left that unpainted, but they chose not to. But yeah, overall, I mean, very nice figure. I mean, this is just so accurate to what we've seen in the 86 film. I mean, that's just really, really well done. This is just like a mini masterpiece. He does come with Autobot Wheelie, which you got him here. He looks really cool. I like him. He looks very, very nice. He's got the Autobot logo in the middle, that nice paint job, nice head sculpt. I like that sculpt there. He's holding his signature slingshot. You can remove it if you just kind of pull it out. So I thought that was a nice touch, because they could have had it all in his body design, but it's really cool. And he has like the pointed finger hand for either the slingshot, or you can have him just pointing. Looks really nice. You got some pretty nice articulation. You got them all on the shoulder joints here, also on that side. The elbow here does not have a joint, so it kind of stays as is, and of course the knees as well. That would be, I would say, probably my main drawback on this little guy, is that these do not straighten up if you want to just have him standing next to Grimlock. He's in a permanently sitting position, which I don't really like. I really would have rather they straighten out the legs, or actually add some joints in both the legs, the two knee joints, and of course the elbow here. And then you come around to the back here, you got the black painting here, and then you got some orange there, and you got some nice detailing on the insides here. And then you have the little pegs where you actually sit him on Grimlock in his Dino mode. But overall, I like Willie. He's a nice little touch. If it were my decision, I would have probably given Grimlock like some more weapons, like melee weapons, maybe a sword, maybe a shield, something like that, rather than giving him Willie. But it is cool that you get another secondary character along with Grimlock. I think that's a pretty nice touch. Also, you get the blaster. That's very, very cool. I saw this when I first opened it up, and I was like, this is not bad at all. I really like it. It's all black, but I love the detailing, and I love how robust it is. I mean, it's very reflective of what, you know, like a Dinobot leader would have. I love the double barrels. Very accurate blaster here, and I really like it. I don't think it needs extra paint. I mean, sure, you could have probably added some gray in there, but I think it's very nice the way it is, and I like the details, and it really stands out. Of course, you want to apply the accessory, you just, as you would do with every other gun or every other blaster, you just peg it into the hand right there, and it fits there nice and snug, and he looks amazing with his blaster. I mean, it just really brings him out. It looks absolutely fantastic with a blaster. You can pull off some nice poses. It just really looks really, really cool, and it really fits his character very well. So I'm glad that they at least gave him some firearms. He could have just only given him Willie, and so that would have sucked. But you do have Willie here with a slingshot, and if you wanted to peg him on there under Willie, you got the little gray peg on his underside here, and then you just come up. I'm gonna move the camera up here for a moment, and then you just kind of come up to Grimlock's shoulder, and there is a peg right here, and then try to get this to peg in with that. It's a little tricky. You kind of have to peg him in sideways almost, so that this leg can peg him on the side. And if you want to straighten him out, you just kind of have to move the leg and then rotate the waist. So he's kind of just like hanging off. But that's not bad at all. I mean, it really looks good. You definitely can see him sitting there. It actually makes a lot of sense. It looks really great. Willie and Grimlock together, both looking fantastic. And I like the little slingshot option. That was really cool. They didn't really have to go with that. But that pretty much does it for the accessories. That's all he comes with. Again, I would have rathered a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Of course, if they're going to do some other things from the G1 movie, I don't know. Just add something. I just thought that he would be nice to add something, but I do see that they made his body mode just really, really awesome. Coming down to articulation, he is a G1 figure, so they do tend to have a pretty good articulation. So his arm comes all the way out like that, and then it does rotate here all the way around, and then of course you got another rotation there at the shoulder. Shoulder comes back down. It does go all the way around. Now if you move this piece here, you can kind of get it around it. The joint does go all the way around. It does have an elbow bend, It does go back. And then you got the hands. They rotate the wrists all the way around like that. And the same goes on the other side. Coming around to the legs. The legs come all the way out. They do rotate. They come, you got some rotation there on the actual waist. And then it comes down. It comes all the way up like that. Nice high kick. It does bend like that right there, looking good. And then it comes all the way back. Very nice. All the way back. The feet also have a pivot, but this is really just for the transformation. But it does pivot if you so need it to, and it actually works well with keeping him stable in really dynamic positions. So moving up to the head sculpt, you've got a full all-around rotation. You can look down like that and up like that. Of course, you'd be disconnecting it if you go that high up. So if you just kind of keep it like so, and then just that's about as high as it can go before you start to disconnect it or mistransform it there. But once again, I'm just very, very impressed by this guy. I just really like how accurate he is to his G1 character, and he really has a very nice display presence. I mean, he just got it's awesome. It's awesome. And now we're gonna go ahead and move on to some size comparisons to show what he looks like with a few other figures that are in the lineup. Of course, I will have him with Studio Series 86 Jazz, and then I am gonna throw in some War for Cybertron characters because I just think they'll look really good with them. They are all G1 design, so even though they're from two different iterations, they still have a general relatability to each other because they're all G1 design. And here you have the Netflix Soundwave looking excellent with him there. And then of course I will have him with, the one and only Earthrise Optimus Prime. There he is with Optimus. That's really good. I like it. I like it a lot. Here we go. We got Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. I'll move Soundwave over just a tad. Fit Hot Rod there. And lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and throw in the Netflix Megatron. And I just think it is a beautiful lineup. I mean, they all blend so well. They are exceptional figures, and Grimlock's scale definitely works out, as you can see. He is larger than Prime. He's a Dinobot. He's the king Dinobot, and it really shows. He towers over every single one of them. But they all look good as a really good set. I'm just such a really big fan with how he ended up looking among the other characters. I mean, the battle scenes, especially for those who are into stop motions, for those who are into, Transformers photography, you can really accomplish some really great poses because the scale works out, and because he looks like he literally just blends in with the rest of the characters regardless of where they came from, like their particular concoction. And lastly, for the biggest part of the comparison segment, I gotta compare this guy with his better twin, the actual masterpiece Grimlock. And man, of course, a major difference in terms of the detail and the painting because this is a masterpiece figure, but I'm seeing a lot of relatability and a lot of similarities with the two figures offhand. Both of them have the normal gray painting on the sides. On the masterpiece, you got that shiny gold die-cast metal. On the Grimlock here, the SS, you got the standard gold plastic, but you still got the Autobot logo red in there. On the masterpiece, as you can see, you've got some really nice detailings inside of the chest mode, whereas here you do have the same detailings, but they are not they're not very three-dimensional, and they're not like singular pieces. They're kind of like etched into the flat breastplate, but you can really see how the detailings are pretty similar. You still have the little horizontal panels here on both of these sides. You still have the indented like piece that comes out for his mid-chest section. You still have the detailed torso in the center. You do have really nice detailings in the gray etchings here on the sides, on the legs. That really brings it out, and that's where they did not, they didn't kind of drop the ball here on this one. But I do like how they still have that little square piece there that's detailed on this side here. And so you can actually custom paint it and make it into that gray if you'd like, but they did leave that option open. Autobot logo is actually larger on this guy than on this one, but it does kind of pop out. You can definitely see there's a little indentation here on this side. There's an indentation on this Autobot logo, whereas this one just kind of pops out of the flat piece. I think, to me, just generally, the biggest noticeable difference just at a first glance is the die-cast versus the all plastic. Of course, the shiny versus the standard. That's the biggest thing to me that stands out the most. I mean, it really shows the quality of the Masterpiece figure when you got that beautiful shiny gold. It literally looks like gold. And of course, he does come with a crown on the Masterpiece, and I am a massive fan of that. He also does have the sword with the flaming fire, whereas this guy would only have the blaster. So you can definitely see the differences there. Flipping them both around, here we go. You can definitely see the differences there. Lots of die cast and gold. I love the neck on the Masterpiece Dinobot. Those gold etchings with that kind of emerald / greenish translucent plastic, whereas you have the standard gold plastic there. That's to me, that's awesome. That's a big difference. You got the cap sections here at the bottom. So the cap section here, of course, is all grayed out. It's all the standard plastic, whereas you have the nice die-cast tail here, and it does look like the transformation is a bit different because of the way that the both of the legs are designed. So that's really nice. I like that. But overall, you can really see how Studio Series did their very best with taking the same general aesthetic and the same general feel of the Masterpiece and putting it into a more budget model for more people to get their hands on. And I think they did a really good job at doing that. In hindsight, I think both of these guys have absolutely great similarities among one another when it comes to the paint and the overall aesthetic. I think they did a really good job at capturing his overall aesthetic with the Studio Series as they did with the Masterpiece version. The ultimate verdict is yours. You are the consumer, you're the buyer, you're the collector. So you get to decide which one is more worth your money and which one you think will fare well or fare better with the other figures in your collection. Me personally, I would get the Masterpiece. I prefer the Masterpiece. I want to have die-cast in my figures. He even is a little taller. He has the crown. That crown creates a whole new display value, in my opinion. But of course, for budget's sake, and of course for Hasbro's sake, I'm a big fan of what Hasbro did with Studio Series Grimlock. I like this guy so much, I will do something I don't normally do on my Teletraan reviews or in anything, and I'm actually going to just demonstrate the transformation process. Yes, I'm actually going to transform him in this video because it's just such a satisfying thing to do. That's what I've been doing mainly after I got him, just transforming it, and it's just really, really nice. And that's satisfying. I'm sorry, I don't even do transformations in these things, but it's just so satisfying. I just had to do it. This thing is, now this is awesome. This right here makes the leader class price completely worth it. This excites me. I'm freaking out a little bit. That's pure G1 Grimlock. If that's not Grimlock, there is no Grimlock. He's beautiful. He's accurate. He's amazing. He looks excellent in his Dino mode. I love that. It just all comes together so nicely. I love how the colors and the different pieces on his body mode, when he converts, they still have the same, the same pieces are colored accurately in his Dino mode. I love that. I love that. You don't have to display him with wheelie, but you can if you'd like. So what I would normally do is I would come down, I would just like show you. You got, I believe it's this right here. So it's this little gray piece. It kind of sticks out. It's next to the white piece, this little gray piece. And then you got this one. Okay. He's ready to go to sleep. And then you got these little heel pegs on wheelie. So you basically just come and then you just peg it like that. Oh, brother, man. And then you've got wheelie riding Grimlock with the slingshot. There you have it, folks. There you have it, folks. Studio Series 86 Grimlock is a masterpiece Grimlock. Do not at me. I love it so much. I love it so much. If you wanted to add the weapon storage, you can. I personally won't be. They have these two. They got tab 1 and tab 2 here on the back. There you go, these two tabs. And then you've got the two pegs here on the blaster, 1, 2. And you just kind of align it and you fit it in there. Let's see, we'll line it up here. And it should fit in there perfectly. You can do that if you so decide. I don't think that's necessary, but it is an option, which I'm glad they added an option for weapon storage on the Dino mode. It just looks so nice, you guys. I am impressed. So I can go ahead and remove wheelie, and we'll get to some articulation in a Dino mode, which I know you guys want to see. I love doing articulation for Dinobots. Of course, you do got his elbows here, his little chicken hands. The T-Rex, it does go all the way around, and you can kind of finesse it around however you want to. This is how it normally goes, so you got nice articulation on that. You got the leg sections here, they go all the way around, because this is the same as the arm. So you got the, you know, it comes up like that, and then of course you got the little, these were once the wrist guards, well now they're his toes and ankles. Just so nice, man. So nice. The actual mouth, the jaw, of course it has to articulate, but it comes out significantly wide, so you can fit other characters in there if you want to display him with other characters eating or chomping something up. Like Laserbeak and Soundwave and the Decepticons in a standoff. I mean, you can just imagine that powerful jaw just crunching down on Laserbeak like that. Or you can kind of close it up like this and just have a closed mouth when he's just not really doing anything. And then the actual neck articulates, so you can articulate that all around like this, the neck. And then you've got more of the head articulation. It does straighten out. If you, of course, if you do it too much, it'll come up. But if you hold it down, it does come down like this, and it does go up like that. So you can go, me Grimlock, really happy about this review. Me Grimlock, not happy about your mom. I love it. I just love how everything just like condenses. Everything just really fits in together. This is the Studio Series G1 Grimlock. And boy, did they do a great thing. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoy watching this review as much as I enjoyed making it. I gotta say, this thing is so beautiful, and it just fits so well with every single character. It's literally a budget model masterpiece figure, and you just don't want to miss out on this one. I'm just gonna say that once this starts to circulate around and people start getting their hands on it, you're gonna find it hard to find in the future. Definitely get your hands on it now while you can. Shop online while the prices are a little lower than they're going to be in the future, and hold on to them for as long as you can, because this guy is one of a kind. Very, 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 very nice release here. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. Once again, big shout out to the Toy Room for sporting this for review. If you guys want to check them out, give them a call or pay them a visit, I have their details in the description box below. And by all means, thanks for watching. This is your Teletraan reviewer, and I will catch you in the next one. Till all are one.